Hey guys, welcome to Olson's Garage. So today, we're going to be reviewing my CBR 929, the bike that doesn't get enough love in my garage. And the CBR is awesome. I'll whip out a couple specs here really quick. This is a 929cc inline 4. It makes 152 horsepower and 76 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs 428 pounds wet and ready to ride, so it comes in super close to like the F4Is and the 600s. The year after this, the 954 actually weighs less than the F4I. This bike came out in 2000 and it ran from 2000 to 2001, later to be replaced by the 954, which it has a lot in common with. This was Honda's premier baby little leader bike at the time, and the graphics are beautiful, and it's got all that early 2000s spunk with no rider aids or anything, so it's a little bit terrifying. But this is a really fun bike. And the cool thing about FireBlades, as many people know, the FireBlades were considered to be the comfortable sport bike, the comfortable leader bike. So in a way, you could, if you wanted to, sport tour on this thing. It's fairly comfortable. Unfortunately, Autumn doesn't like riding on the back. It's a fairly wide and comfortable seat, but she likes to hold on to me when we're riding, and it ends up pitching her too far forward, and she doesn't really like that. I got this thing a while ago. It was kind of a turd when I got it. I've done a couple things. I just recently gave it a bath, so it actually looks nice. But when I first got this, I'll post some pictures. This thing was pretty ugly. Now she's looking really mint. One thing I love that Honda did is the Honda on the bottom. When you put it on a side stand, you can see the Honda on the bottom. But yeah, so this thing's really comfortable. What else can I tell you? It has fuel injection, which is really cool. This is the first FireBlade to get fuel injection. It has 43mm inverted forks up front. The really cool thing about this, and in talking to my brother, I guess it's not very common. My brother has an F4I, and it has a steel header pipe, where this actually has an entire titanium exhaust system. So it's really pretty. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it in here. It's a little bit blue. Another cool thing is that it has an exhaust valve down there and an intake valve up here. So when you're going through the rev range from like 1,000 RPM at idle to 3,000 RPM, it's at one position, which is kind of nice and quiet. You can cruise and it's kind of inconspicuous. And then from 3,000 to 8,000, it's at another point, and then 8,000 to its 11.5 rev limiter, it's in the fully open position. Same with the intake. I don't know the exact RPMs that is set at, but the intake has a baffle to basically make the runners longer at lower RPM and shorter at higher RPM. It's a stressed engine, so the frame, you can see it's kind of like missing a spot right here. So the frame comes down and then it bolts to the engine, and then the engine and the swing arm bolt together. So we're kind of missing a chunk of aluminum like right here, which is kind of cool. It helps save weight, and I think it looks really pretty. The thing that sucks, when I got this bike, someone obviously had the chain wrap around it, and it ended up busting a piece of the case off. Luckily, nothing leaks, and this thing's actually in really good shape. A lot of times what people end up having to do is they go and they have to delete that solenoid on the bottom because it'll start to click, and then you'll have a fuel injection light on the dash. Luckily, this has none of these problems. Something else I forgot to mention about the forks. So we're preload and compression and rebound damping adjustable on this front end. It's super nice, and this has humongous front rotors. The rotors, I believe, on this are a 330mm, which is huge. Standard, you see like a 296mm. So this has huge rotors in the front, which offers superb braking performance. And this thing doesn't weigh anything, so you can just slam on it. So yeah, this is the 929. Let's go for a ride. So getting this thing started, fires right up. A lot of these end up kind of hunting once they get up to temperature, which is kind of goofy, but it's early fuel injection, so it's basically It's basically a base tune. It has no way of altering that tune other than with like temperature sensors. Basically what I'm saying is that there isn't an O2 sensor. But like I said, at low RPM, it's fairly inconspicuous. Hopefully I'll be able to get to the point like right around here, the exhaust sound will actually change, which is really neat. Hopefully I don't have any wind noise. I hope I fixed all that stuff. Actually, I might pull over and check that just to be sure, because that was really annoying last time. Actually going to take a lefter here, and we are going to head down to South Milwaukee. This is also really pretty, and this is the only place I actually like to fish is over here, which I haven't fished yet, but I sent Austin here and he was actually having some pretty good luck. So once we get a little farther through South Milwaukee, what is that bike? RR 1600 something. Let me know if you guys know. That's a cool bike. My neighbor has a lot of really cool Harleys. I'm not much of a Harley guy, but he has some cool Harleys. That sunset's so pretty. There's nothing like a Midwest sunset. CBR, super comfortable. You can flick it around. I'm gonna get to some twisty roads because I feel like I'm just rambling at this point and there's nothing else I can really add. Decisions. Let's go this way. Anyway, just want to show you guys 929, pretty spectacular. Definitely get in trouble with this thing. Absolutely, you can get in trouble with a lot of bikes in reality. But yeah, the 929, really fun, really fast. It's a great bike, and I'm really having a hard time because, like I said, I started this video saying I was going to get rid of this thing. I was going to get something else, and now I'm kind of thinking that I don't want something else. Hey, I kind of want to keep it again. I don't know. It's hard because you don't ride it for a while, and you're like, screw it, let's get rid of it. You don't need it, get rid of it. And then I hop on it, and I want to do a review for you guys, and I show you how beautiful it is. Show you how much fun it is and how it's fairly comfortable. I've toured on this thing, so now I'm kind of at a loss because now I don't really know what to do. I think inevitably the answer is going to be I will just get rid of this at some point and buy something else. Probably something like a VFR or something similar to that. VFRs are great bikes. I really want, like I said, that I want that sound. The typical 4-cylinder sound, while it's great, screw this, I think I'm gonna go straight. Straight looks like way more fun. That 4-cylinder sound, I mean, you can't beat it. It's so racy, it's fun. like I've said, I want to do a track days, but I'd really like to get down and dirty and focus on off-road. I think dollar per dollar, the amount of fun you can have off-road is insane. I mean, you can go to Derek Hughes for a weekend. You can ride motocross, supercross. You can just rip the trails. There's hill climbs there. I mean, at 20 bucks, $20 to go ride for the day. Road America or any of these other trails, you're paying $300, $350 just to go there and ride. And I know the gear debate is kind of crazy, because the amount of money I have into my dirt bike setup is probably fairly similar to the amount of money I'd have into a street bike setup. Like, if I want, well, probably not, because that leather suit's expensive. That's the thing that really holds me back a lot of times. Look at these guys, a bunch of billionaires. Anyway, the amount of money that you have into a full track setup is insane. You got your leather jacket, your boots, full leather suit, so then you walk around like a kind of a weird person. There's a lot of gear you gotta have, and I don't want that much gear. I think I really just need to focus on hobbies, and I think the hobby that I love the most is riding dirt bikes. Riding dirt bikes is so much fun to me, and like I said, dollar for dollar, it's fairly cheap, but it's fairly cheap, and I don't know. I guess if I got a super hook, that would kind of scratch both itches, and in a way that could almost validate me getting rid of the Magna. I do really like the Magna, but like I said, same thing. I have two motorcycles. I've done a lot of things with these two motorcycles, and there's still more to come. Stay tuned. But I think I just want to try out more things. I end up buying something, and then I never ever seem to get rid of it. I just keep it for what seems like forever, and I don't ever get to try out any of these other things that all these other bikes have to offer. I can make some of that money back, but I don't want a garage full of bikes. Like, I want to try a bike for a while, get something else. Try a bike for a while, get something else. The problem is that the 99 is a keeper bike if you need it to be, or if you want it to be. You could keep this bike, I could keep this bike for the rest of my life, and between the dirt bike, the Magna, and this thing, I could have every experience I realistically need to. Cruise around with Autumn on the Magna. Get rowdy on the Magna, because the Magna is a lot of fun. Do my track stuff with this, do my touring on this, do touring on the Magna. There's a lot of options here. I think we're going to take a right here. And the CBR, man, but the problem is that the CBR on the street really allows me to do hood rat stuff, and I'm not it's probably not a good idea for me to be doing hood rat stuff all the time. It is fun because I can do wheelies, and wheelies are fun. Do baby wheelies because I'm scared, and this is a lot of bike. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is a lot of bike, but it's fun. And man, I don't know. All these roads lead back to the same spot eventually, you know. I guess I'll leave you. I guess I gotta leave you guys with something. Leave you guys with a nice little rev limiter. Hopefully this all turned out. Alright, that's enough being a hooligan. See you guys.